Sentimental and technical video for the QuasiDB service for the 6th of May 2021. BOE day. This is cable on the H4. Now, what I've done, I've zoomed in so you can see that resistance, and so now I'm going to zoom out and you can see how that came about. So we got the high, and we hit that zigzag high, and also we had resistance there, and now we've got resistance again, but it's very, very spooky. So maybe grab a copy of the soup indicator. Definitely worth it. I think we actually probably just broke above about 2 pips. Yeah, 39.42. So had your visibility of the soup indicator, you would have known, well, had an idea where it might go, and it hit it exactly. And now we're falling, which would agree with the channel, and the pitchfork is also descending. My original idea was that we're going to come down and test this low, this triangle bottom, if you see there, that sort of pink line there, and then we can come down there and we probably bounce, but we'd want to keep it above monthly pivot, so that's that pink line, the horizontal. SOC above is 13975, and the one below is 13838. Now, the reason for this potentially falling, like I told you guys in the technical chat very early this morning, was for that reason. The euro pound has got monthly pivot support, and if that holds, then this is going to be bearish for pound crosses. Okay, admittedly, we've got this diagonal break, but we've got monthly pivot, and you can see how it was respected, quite clearly on the H4. And because this is now breaking that diagonal, this is actually could be quite bullish, and it's an old diagonal as well. It's from December. Wow. So yeah, this could be a big move, a big momentum sign, that break there, the diagonal break. It's because we're above monthly pivot, and so keep an eye on 86.72. We're at 86.77 now. It might have this, so it holds this harmonic, and if it does, then then it will just resume the downtrend. But we've actually breaking that line, and that could be could be a bit ominous for pound crosses, because the pound's the pound USD is in descent there, and we hit that exactly, well, 2 pips, not exactly, but it's very close. So that's just a little bit of insight for the pound. I think you'd want to keep an eye on your monthly pivot for the euro pound at 86.29. We've got UK local elections as well, and in case you missed my video, the S&P, if they win, they're going to push for a Scottish referendum, and it could cause, well, it will cause a lot of volatility in the pound again. So this could do well fundamentally, and we have broken that diagonal, and it's a very old diagonal as well from December. So AJ, we could potentially break this pitchfork, I'm thinking. There's your 38.2 resistance at 84.70, but we are a buy, and we are a buy here as well, and the pitchfork is ascending, and we've got monthly pivot, so it's technically quite strong. We don't really want it to break the pitchfork. SOC is 84.90, and the one below is very far away, 83.70. Aussie USD, if you remember my analysis yesterday, it was a buy according to the sentiment, but I was recommending that we hold fire. We had resistance at the 61.8 here this time yesterday. We did have a good, we had a nice fall, and now we got that 61.8 resistance again, which is that line. Hopefully that's clear, that dotted line. So the soup indicator is fantastic. I wholeheartedly recommend that you have a look at it. You can get a trial, and you can even probably purchase it as well. It's really good. But 72.55 is your level of interest there for Aussie USD. The one above is 77.65, and the one below, still very, very, very large. See how they've moved their stops lower? That's where that cluster was, and then they moved it lower. And the one below is 76.70. Yeah, we're not quite 100 pips away. We're, yeah, about 70 pips away. So I think this is going to get probed at NFP tomorrow, and it would, just be typically cruel. And we have got a bearish harmonic here as well. So, oops, zoom out, not zoom in. So there's your diagonal break, and we've got ascending channel, and we've got a very large stop loss cluster below. However, we are a buy on the static sentiment as well, and they're shorting it. The fact that they're shorting it is quite bullish. So keep an eye on your S&P and the Dow Jones to give us an indication for risk. EA, there's your monthly pivot. SOC 15580 and 15475. This was a signal to sell, and I'm glad that we didn't do it, because it's good that we got a quality control now, because this would have just come into Telegram, and we would have done okay, but it's just incredibly volatile. I think, yeah, around about here we would have done okay, but it just causes us to really have wide stops if you're trading it, and I'm not a fan of having wide stops. I want tight stops and a good R risk multiple. So this is why this isn't a good pair for me, because of its wild swings. And technically we're actually a buy because we're above monthly pivot, but sentimentally we're a sell, so that's mixed as well. So I'd probably just avoid this one, going forward. EU, SOC 12075, and doesn't let me load it. It's quite annoying. 11980, we're a buy, and they shorted it. At that point, you see up here, and they sold it, so price comes up. So we could possibly get a stop loss cluster, potentially, and we've got resistance there at 12081, which is close to the SOC, and the harmonic is bullish. So yeah. GU, no, I did cover this. Very naughty. I took a little tiny position short, and it's just a really good demonstration why you shouldn't trade on your mobile, because for one, you don't have a big picture visibility of things that you should be monitoring, and probably most importantly is the fact that you don't have a trailing stop function on your mobile. And now if you did have a trailing stop function and you were short like me, I just simply shorted it with a trailing stop, and as you know, you're probably aware, you're watching it today, it had a very, very healthy bounce, and so the trailing stop got me out. But if you were on a mobile device, you don't have that functionality, and so what probably would have happened, you were short, and you could potentially have got greedy, potentially, and you thought it was going to continue to fall, but of course it came rallying all the way up, and it would have stopped you out. Now, because I had a trailing stop, I got out of profit. So be careful if you're trading on your mobile. It's certainly much, much better to trade on desktop or laptop. It's just one of my recommendations. So bear that in mind, and you don't really get a big visibility of what's going on as well on a mobile. NU, I think I covered those stop loss clusters. I can't remember. 13833, and one above is 13975. NU, see there's 61.8 resistance. See there at 7204. So you can use these Fibonacci levels to trade against. So that could be potentially your stop, and then you could target the SLC, and you see how that tight stop would have been a good reward. You're looking, at least a 3-4R on that. So if that was your stop, you could target that. So that's one of the things that you could use the super indicator for. 72.29 and 71.80. Where I buy, the harmonic is bearish, and the channel is descending as well, because we had a lower low. See that lower low? So obviously that resistance line marries that line. So yeah, good fall. We need to keep an eye on risk, like anything. All these pairs are sensitive to risk, so keep an eye on S&P. I think this is going to get their stop loss cluster by the looks of it. 13191. We're 10 pips away, so yeah, it's very, very likely. SOC is below 13089. We are a buy, and they shorted it just there. and see Marco's analysis in the technical channel as well. That was really good. That was spot on, that was. So I think we'll get that. And then you've got resistance at 132.14, which it could be a good short, potentially, with a stop there, because this is your pitchfork resistance. And also it's your median line resistance as well. So there's a confluence. So it might even come up here, and then that could be resistance. So 132.37. We'll see what happens there. Pound yen above is large now, 5.08, 152.19 and 150.8. We are a buy, and they shorted it. Because they shorted the hit price come up, and we've got resistance at 152.40. I think we're going to get that stop loss cluster. It's quite large, and it's not that far away. 34 pips away. Dollar yen. We've still got monthly pivot, remember, and this is going to be a big mover on NFP, I think. The stop loss cluster is large of the two, the one above, at 109.5, 109 on the dot. So we're close to getting it, and they've got resistance at 109.80, and then you've got a double confluence resistance up there, 110.35. That's because of wow, it's quite old. Yeah, that median line there. So it's from February 17th. It's quite old. Dollar CAD keep falling, but then again, you know the reason why it's falling because of that. The one that below is close, as you can see. This is killing lots of retail guys right now. 122.30. On above it's 122.60, and yeah, I mean fundamentally it's it's just short because of the Bank of Canada, and they were quite hawkish. So yeah, that could have been your entry. That's a big trade, bloody hell. And so yeah, have a look at the Zoop. It's really good. Dollar Swiss. Where are we? So the SLC above is far at 91.79, 90.74. We're a sell and going along. But I think maybe potentially this harmonic might hold, and we've got pitchfork lower support too. And the channel is descending, and we've got a bullish harmonic, so it's tricky. This is going to probably move a lot tomorrow as well, like anything, because of non-farm payrolls. But sentimentally, it should be falling. So we'll have to wait and see. Gold. Where are we? So there's that stop loss cluster from yesterday. We didn't quite probe it. And one above is probably still at the round figure. It is. They love their round figures. 1800. And the one below, 1769. We're now a buy. So that's interesting. That's where they shorted it. Here. They sold it here. So up we come. So a bit tricky, really. I was kind of forecasting this to fall and dollar yen to rally tomorrow. So, but I don't know now. I'm going to keep an eye on it. And if you zoom out, we've got a bullish harmonic, and the pitchfork is ascending as well. So it's quite bullish, and we're above monthly pivot. There's double resistance up here. It's 1849. So that would be as possible. It might even come up there, 1891. Have to wait and see what the NFP. It's going to be a big beat probably. Yeah, probably mean that the dollar's going to dump because we're going to be risk on. So, and then this will do well. We'll have to wait and see. I'm going to wrap up now because it's quite a long video, because I talked about the pound and things like that. And keep an eye on the euro pound if you're trading cable. It's very important. So have a good day, and I'll speak to you guys later.